Hey everybody, it's Lindsay with High Altitude Astrology, and I'm bringing you another video today, and this is going to be the video of the full moon, or the chart of the full moon on Saturday, March 31st at 6:37 a.m. in the morning. And this is a full moon in Libra at 10 degrees, which means that the sun is in Aries at 10 degrees. And what makes this full moon interesting is that the sun is conjunct Mercury, also in the sign of Aries at 12 degrees. And both the sun and Mercury and the moon are squared to a conjunction between Mars and Saturn at 7 and 8 degrees of Capricorn. So this makes for a bit of a tense full moon. I mean, the full moon in Libra, that's about wanting to experience harmony and balance through the emotional expression. And then it's opposite the solar energy, which is next to Mercury in Aries. So there's this energy of wanting to really express ourselves through our communication in a very strong and assertive way. But then all those planets are squared to Mars and Saturn. Mars, how we assert ourselves. Saturn with discipline and, with focus, and in some ways a little bit of inhibition perhaps. In the sign of Capricorn, hard work, really it's the goat climbing the mountain, the sea goat climbing the mountain, really just doing the work. So Saturn in Capricorn, it's in its home sign, and then Mars is there too, adding some energy to that Saturnian nature as well. But again, those energies of just wanting to kind of like nose to the grindstone, I believe is how you say it, squaring the moon, the emotions, and squaring the sun and Mercury together of self-expressing through communication creates this kind of tension. It's all in cardinal signs, and cardinal is about action. Cardinal is about, doing, initiating. So there can just be this tension that's experienced between all of these energies because, they all are cardinal and they all want to take action. They all want to express. But in this T-square formation, there's just, a balance that needs to be found between them all. And some different variations of the expression of this energy could be that we really want to shine, we really want to assert ourselves and speak our minds. And at the same time, we're feeling a little bit reserved or held back because it is a lot about, this time is a lot about also really wanting to take action and to take action, but in a very disciplined way and in a very responsible way. So it could be kind of like, in some ways, sort of hindering that solar expression, kind of reminding us to take our time. And the same goes with the square from the moon to Saturn and Mars. The moon is in Libra, the sign of balance and harmony, where we want to express our emotional self in that way. But there could be, this other part with that Mars, Saturn, and Capricorn that's a bit harsh, and it's a bit like, we got to get the work done. We've got to get down to business. There's no emotion in any of this. There's no feeling in any of this. So that could be some of the energetic expression. Personally, I've just had some frustrating experience, and of course, Mercury's retrograde right now in Aries, and so some of the challenge is coming from that experience of just really struggling with things around communication and wanting it all to happen right now, wanting it all to get resolved right now. But Mars and Saturn and Capricorn squared the Mercury. It's like, it's going to take time. It's going, and it's going to require your effort, and it's going to require your focus, and it's going to be slower than you might want it to be. So that's another expression of the energy as we're heading into this full moon. A couple of other things to discuss. So Venus moves into Taurus tomorrow, Friday, March 30th, late in the evening, Mountain Standard Time. So to have Venus in Taurus, Venus is happy in Taurus because Venus rules Taurus. So Venus in Taurus is all about getting our needs met, getting our pleasure needs met. Venus is our creative expression. Venus is our loving nature. And so to have Venus moving into Taurus, it's just going to be a time where, it's important to us to make sure that our pleasure needs are in alignment with what we really want in our lives. And we'll be looking for that with the Venusian expression in Taurus. It's about enjoying things, nice food, and, just things that we find, that bring us satisfaction. But what's interesting is that Venus has moved across Uranus in the last week or so. And that is another expression at this full moon time, is the Venus-Uranus conjunction. So Venus is as it rules Taurus, Venus in Taurus, it wants stability. It's fixed. Taurus is fixed in its nature, so it likes things to be the same. But with Uranus in the picture, Uranus is about the unexpected. Uranus is about change. Uranus is really wanting us to progress and to make strides in our lives. And a lot of times Uranus energy is this like insightful energy that helps us really shift into new directions. So part of this full moon expression is that Venus and Uranus are there together, and it's basically saying that our desires, our pleasure desires, are going to perhaps have this element of the unexpected connected to them, and the new connected to them, and possibly bringing change into our lives through our relationships, because Venus is about our relationships, but also Venus is about creativity. So it could be bringing in new ways of expressing ourselves creatively as well. And the last thing to mention is that Venus is moving into a trine with Mars at this full moon time, and Mars again at 7 degrees Capricorn. So to have this Earth trine between Venus and Mars basically means that there's an opportunity to really ground, our pleasure principle and our desire principle together at this time, and that we can take action with Mars and Capricorn through really taking our time and taking on the responsibility of really changing those areas of our lives in relationship to our loving nature or our creative nature that need to be done. So this has been my interpretation of the full moon in Libra. And thank you so much for watching. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Also, you can reach me for readings at info@highaltitudeastrology.com. Adios.